guys, welcome back to yet another video. So I've been playing around with the book, the old books from the 90s, and there's a particular shrimp pattern in that one that is just so cool. Let me see if I can hold it up here. It is actually this one right up here, Robert's shrimp it's called. I've been tweaking things a little bit like I always like to do, because the original pattern was with this here easy body tubing, but I don't find it that easy, and I've actually changed things up a little bit and tweaked it, and it turned out really cool. So let's jump down to my vise here and crank out this new type of, I don't know, it's kind of like a hybrid shrimp, like, you know, classic shrimp tying, and then with a little bit of modern technique to it with the shrimp shell and all that. So let's jump straight to it. Okay, so here the hook in the vise is of course from Eric's Hooks, you know that. There's no need to tie on anything else. I don't mean that, of course. You can tie on anything you like. I just like these hooks. Start off by tying in some easy shrimp eyes. And usually I would tie them in up here, so you can see that. But on this one, I actually moved them down the hook bend a little bit. Just it gives the shrimp a totally new profile, silhouette, which I really like. I haven't been this excited about a shrimp pattern in a very long time, so that's kind of nice. Get these in. You can see it here. I kind of want the eyes to go just a little bit past the length of the hook there. And with these eyes, if you're a perfectionist like me, you like the flies to look pretty much the same, and you really can do that with these easy shrimp eyes. And since they come out with a smaller size, that's all I use. Okay, so let's take some marble fox, and again you can take whatever you like or prefer with this. The technique will be the exact same. Just trim out a piece here. What you want is these longer, a little bit stiffer hairs, and then just pluck out some of the shorter ones, the underfur. Don't want those. And then measure this out. You want it to be just about 2 times the length of the shank of the hook. That'll get the proportions right. This you want to tie in so it is just between the eyes. And the trick to this one is to place all the materials on the top of the hook, okay? And then as you go along, my neighbor, shout out to Harvey. He watches my videos sometimes, so if you're watching this, Harvey, hello. So what I did here is to cut it off at an angle here, so it'll taper out and make it slimmer at the back, which is exactly what I want. Then you need some sort of flash. I like this very standard crystal flash. It has just the right amount of stiffness to it, you can say. Put these in. These I tie in so they are still on top, but kind of on the sides. Flip these over. And just, these are obviously way too long, but you can always trim that afterwards. Just like so. Then some rubber legs. These are white, but you can of course use some in orange or in green or whatever. And that's why I call it a hybrid, because it's nothing new to use rubber legs on shrimp flies, but when the what's it called, Hutun, the Seatrout thief, came out last year, it kind of boomed these rubber legs on the shrimp flies again. So it's kind of a mix between a glass shrimp, the shrimp from the book, and the Seatrout thief fly. So let's get these rubber legs in. And actually, I think I want to tie them in one at a time. So, and the same thing, kind of on the side here, because these, I will tie it all the way back to the eye and then flip it over, so I get 4 in total in front, but 2 will be longer, and the other 2 will obviously be a little bit shorter. So let's get those in. Just make sure that everything you tie in is over the eyes. And get this up on top of the fly here. Kind of pull them like this. And then, whoa. Flip them back over on themselves. Just like that. That's that for the rubber legs. Then take some more marble fox or whatever. I guess you could use craft fur as well. That would make it a little bit more slim, I think. And this time you don't need the thicker hairs. You want these shorter ones, almost the underfur ones, if you even can say that, the underfur ones. Just a small amount here on top. Just to cover that up a little bit. Same thing. Cut this off at an angle. So now you can see it's kind of starting to get that that lump that a shrimp has. Turn it over on itself. Take just a little bit more of the underfur. Put that in here. On the belly. tie that in all the way up here. And this is just to give the head that last touch to make it look like a shrimp. And this here I will just use to cover up the shank of the hook so it doesn't show through that much. Taper it like that. And believe it or not, but this shrimp doesn't have any dubbing in it. So that's kind of a new thing, not to put dubbing in. Oh, where's my foam? Then you'll be needing some sort of foam. This is 2mm in white. And here you can of course just go absolutely crazy with the colors as well. You could even tie in a piece of pearl tinsel and then kind of run that over this foam. It'll show through the shrimp back. I did one in green yesterday. I think it's in the kitchen. There's just flies everywhere in this house, which is something that my wife really enjoys, especially the ones that look like real animals. So cut it into a taper, the piece of foam. Get it back to this point around here. This is actually way too big. And then just tie this in on the top of the fly as well. What this will do is it will add, of course, some air to the fly, making it float a little bit better. Because sometimes with these flies, when you put UV resin on the shell back, it will kind of flip over because that's the side where the less resistance is. So in order to battle that, you can either tie in some lead on the, or not lead, that's forbidden of course, to put lead in our ocean. It used to be lead, now it's non-lead wire, so you can add some weight to the fly, and I don't like that because I fish with intermediate lines. So what I like to do is just to put in a little bit of foam on the top of the fly, and that'll help it turn the right side up in the water. Right, so for the shrimp back, I will be using these shrimp backs from Pro Sport Fisher in a size large. And this is an old sheet. They only come in clear, tan, olive, and pink at this point, I think, because I helped them make the homepage, or I made the entire thing. But I mean, it still counts as help. But the program has been shortened a little bit, and maybe they will be adding some new colors or the old colors. But for now, they are only making them in these colors. You can of course color these yourself, which I will be doing with this one. So you want to put this in, you can see it here. It has these little cutouts, and that is where the eyes will fit in perfectly. So make sure that is aligned. just work your way down. Like this. See the profile here, it just looks so good. Wait till you see it with UV resin on. One last thing here before we cover the back. So you need a little bit more of the marble fox. And again, pluck out the cover hairs. You only need this fluffy part. Okay. Pluck out the shorter ones. And then measure this out. You want the longest one to be just around where the eyes are. Get this in on the belly here. And this will act as the legs. Make sure that's nice and tight. Turn this off. And tie that down. Get a bit finish in. Cut off the thread. And here you can see it. I of course chose to wear a white t-shirt and tying with white materials. That's a little bit, but you can see it here, the profile is just perfect. So what I like to do here is to moisten my fingers a little bit. Kind of get this out of the way so you don't get resin on to it yet. I will be doing a little trick as always. But first, let's get some resin in on the top here, like that. So work this down on the sides, and you only want it to be covering the shrimp shell, so it's a good idea to use your dubbing needle or something like that to control it. Also, the old pattern was made with epoxy. Imagine doing this with epoxy. It stresses me out a lot. With UV resin, you have all the time in the world to get this covered. Just like that. There we go. So when it's covered, I like to turn it upside down a little bit to make the UV resin flow down here and collect itself here at this point, which will help exaggerate that hunchback. cure that. I think it needs a little bit more, so let me just do that real quick. There we go. Can of course help it a little bit by doing I think it needed a little bit more on the top there. Go. Let's sap that. I'm not liking this UV resin too much. It's a different brand. You know, I like to use the Solar Res. And I bought a bottle, but somehow it's like half cured. I don't know, it's kind of sticky, so I can't really use that. So I had to take something else. And it's just not, it's okay, but it's just not the same. They all promise to be tack-free and all that, but they never really are. The only one I've come across that is tack-free is the one from Solar Res. And that's with all lamps. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a cheap one or an expensive one, whatever. You can cure it with all lamps. And I like that. I don't want to have like 14 different lamps for my UV resins. I just want it to work. So what I did here was to put in a little bit of a drop of UV resin on the marble fox down here. Kind of work it into, because I wanted to lay a little bit more flat, like so. Just cure that. So now the fly will keep its profile when you throw it and when it lands in the water, but it will still have all the movement it needs in the front here. Here we go. And that is a finished. Whoop! I need to trim the fibers here in front a little bit. You can leave these quite long. And the shrimps here, at least, are quite big, bigger than this. They are also smaller, of course, but this is a decent snack for a sea trout. There we go. And that there is the finished fly. If you want to, you can, because this is a little bit greasy, to show that. I'm sure you already know that, but if there's anyone new here, take a little bit of rubbing alcohol, you can get that tackiness of the resin here, or like this. If you really want to go crazy, you can take something like a marker like this one here, and you can cover up the shell here. I think I want some on the legs down here. Let's give it some markings down here. Just like so. Get that. This is of course just for the fun of it. It'll fish just perfect in white. And if you change out the colors of the marble fox, it'll of course show through. So here we go. Work that in a little bit. That there is the finished shrimp. I think it looks very, very good, and I'm looking forward to fishing this one actually. Like I said, I haven't been this excited about a shrimp pattern for a very long time. So that's the video for you. Try it out, let me know how it worked out. Check some of the links in the description below for Pro Sport Fisher, my book, and all those things. And thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.